kind of looking at the posture of Christian music, and are we really in a space where we're concerned about doing life with people and like really making disciples and really being concerned about those that are in need. GloRilla winning the Bobby Jones BET Gospel Award was pretty shocking for me too. Um, and at first I was pretty bothered by it, but I've had some meaningful conversations and definitely have made me think about things a little differently. Some good brothers in the faith have really opened my mind to some things, and so I did not respond early on because, you know what, I need to think about it. And so here I am today. Boom. At first, yes, I was touched by it. I was bothered, and but I think just kind of since then, I've kind of pivoted. You know, I'm like, and kind of listening to like these brothers, and then listening to what Rodney Jerkins said on the Breakfast Club, that God is not concerned about our awards, and that our reward is in heaven, and that you know. And I was like, man, like, are we hyper focusing on things that should merely be the result of good ministry? Are we more focused on the end goal versus reaching lives and reaching people? And then it kind of caused me to kind of pivot and like to look into other parts of like Christian music and gospel music, and you know, like cost and opportunities for really solid artists that have really good songs and actually have some traction and they have a following base but cannot afford radio. I leaned to my own experience of when I was rapping in Puck Hear Your Image, and you know, I was like, yo, like I would take our single to every radio station in Austin, Texas, big and small, didn't matter. I mean, at the time, it was 2007. I knew nothing about like radio promo. I knew nothing about how labels pay. You know, I'm a radio promoter, X amount of money to keep their record charting and all that stuff. And so when I walk into this high end Christian radio station, and I handed my single, our press kit, you know, everything. And he listened to it. He said, "Man, this is a really good song. Like, in fact, I think this is an incredible record." I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "You're gonna play it?" And he says, "Actually, I can't." I'm like, "Why?" And he says, "Well, because of our obligations to my partners." And at the time, I'm like, "That's some red tape that I don't understand." And at the time, I'm like, "What is this obligation to my partners thing? Like, what is that? What do you mean? Like, to who? Is it to the advertisers? Is it, or is it to the labels that pay the radio promoters? Like, is that what we're talking about?" Because I'm an independent artist that have a song that you really like, that you really believe in, and you won't play it because of that. I've always kind of had in my head, like, man, I wonder what it would be like if an artist could get a real shot. An independent artist could get a real shot without having to jump through the hoops and the red tape that we know of today. Now, however, not saying that you should not pay. A workman is worthy of his hire. So let me establish that. Where is the space where we work with people? Where is the conversation where we're like, you know, well, listen, here's a tier system. I feel like music in general, Christian and gospel, it seems to follow a secular path of how music is done. And I almost noticed, like, you know, even people handle each other in somewhat of a similar way in regards of that. And with that, I want to shout out a couple of people, the late Chris Chicago, who I appreciate him because he kept it affordable, and he made it to where You could send him your music, and very honest guy. He tell you the truth. Hey, this is not really for what I can do. Or he say, hey man, hey, I can push that. Boom, 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 and you get your rate. And so, and then I want to shout out Holy Culture Radio, and especially Trig, who has created a platform where artists can openly and honestly submit their music. It doesn't mean it's going to get on there. They are honest with you. However, you have a shot, you have an opportunity, and they will play your music. Again, Holy Culture Radio, check them out. It is an XM station, and if anybody knows anything about XM radio, trust me, that's the look. I don't know. It's a tough conversation because, and I walk very, very carefully because I understand the value of marketing. I'm a digital marketer. I market artists, so I know how important it is to have that servicing, and I know how important it is to be paid for your time. Man, that's time and effort. I know the state of music today, and I know that people are not making the kind of money that we once made. I wonder if there were a way that we could do this and not have to cause people to go swipe credit cards and get in debt. You know what I mean? Like I often wonder about that, and just in good faith. I wonder if Christian music has gotten to Christian gospel music have gotten to a place where it's too far gone, and it's about exclusively about paying the radio promoter, about paying the digital marketer. And if you don't have the money, I don't care how good your record is. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care nothing about that. If you don't have it, I don't play it. Has it gotten to that place? And has Christian and gospel music gotten to where politics and social issues mean more than loving our neighbor as we love ourselves? Has it gotten to the point to where political candidates can cause such a division to where we can't see each other as the Lord would want us to see one another? Has it gotten to a place to where your status has caused you to forget those that may be in need or hungry or thirsty or need discipleship? Has it led to the place and point to where you're so consumed with creating content to where you're missing valuable time with family, with your kids? You're struggling in your marriage, but you can't stop. Why? Because you have to lead that praise team, or you have to finish that record, or you have to finish that piece of content. These are things that I think about and kind of where I've landed, and I pray for our industry. I really pray for it. And again, this is not to say paying for stuff is wrong. No, you should pay for what you want. But I do wonder. So again, just a few key takeaways, like understanding that our reward is in heaven, and that what would music be if artists could submit their music and it be gauged just based upon whether it's an amazing record or it's not, and it wasn't all of the red tape. And then 3, kind of looking at the posture of Christian music, and are we really in a space where we're concerned about doing life with people and like really making disciples and really being concerned about those that are in need and those that need ministry? Because being a producer, artist, a praise team leader, musician in church, or whatever it is, it does not remove us from the work. In fact, the work is the most important thing. It's the most important thing above all. And everything that we do should be funneled through that